Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer, another chapter in the saga. That's right, the story that never ends continues, and you know what? Let's hit them up. Oh, because you love it. I just got finished watching the No Swear Gamer video, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out. And he just put out that the Blue Sky Rangers out there are selling on eBay cardboard boxes for the Intellivision Amico, which is absolutely insane, right? For the longest time, the Blue Sky Rangers were that pillar, right? They were the bearers of the Intellivision brand. But since the owner invested in Amico, got involved with the project, probably hasn't gotten paid back from all the loans that he made. That's one of the reasons that No Swear Gamer was speculating that maybe, he was doing this. One of the things I was thinking that I didn't hear him say was the tax issues that they were having, right? And I remember California had suspended at least one of those entities. They had so many, who knows which one, right? But I'm thinking that's why they did it, because, as a business, you need a California reseller's license in order to sell it. Or I don't know if he's selling these as individual, even though it's Blue Sky Rangers, logo out there. And that I don't know. But if the company doesn't have a reseller's license, then they can't sell anymore. I mean, that's that simple, unless you make a new entity and they buy the. It's just, to me, it's just sad, because the Blue Sky Rangers, at least had a decent reputation, right? At least a decent reputation with the Intellivision community of trying to, uphold the Intellivision name for all those years, where, really nobody cared about it except for, people that grew up with the Intellivision and loved the Intellivision, and promoted individuals' games that, were being made. But now it comes to this, and anything that anything that this company touches just turns to crap, right? Just hiding the complete financial failure that are these games, and the games themselves. I mean, you really have to put that on the shoulders of Juan Alvarado, because he was, who knows what he is now, right? Chief Technology Officer that never got these games. Are we going to see the Finnegan Fox Mall tour still? Is that still going on? Oh man, what a scam! And let me tell you, uh, is there anybody out there that still believes in this project? There is. No, I want to see how they explain this on Discord, right? In that in the North Korea Discord, I want to see Mullis rationalize this. How is this a good thing? How is this going to bring the project forward? How much do you think they're going to raise with this, if anything? Very few, right? I mean, you sell 1,000, maybe 24,000 bucks, 25,000. Is that enough to repay the investments he made? I don't know. I mean, who's going to buy these guys? I mean, anybody that would have been a fan of this, a game hoarder like myself, the old man cringe community, if you will, already bought them. What new customers are you going to get? You can't sell them on Steam. You can't sell them in the Play Store. I mean, you just can't sell these games. I mean, the reputation is trashed. The games are too expensive. And now you have these box collections, and in good conscience, how are you going to sell these, knowing that these people are maybe never going to get a game? Right? There's some disclaimers on there, but I mean, you're still selling cardboard. Is this what the legacy of the Blue Sky Rangers is? I've never been too deep into the lore of the Blue Sky Rangers, but anything that I ever heard from them was always positive. I never heard like a huge scandal, maybe pre-YouTube, but why would you put your reputation with these people at all? There is no reason. right? Even Atari just said, give me the Intellivision name. I want nothing to do with anything else. That whole thing is toxic, absolutely toxic. And here they are, shoveling cardboard. They're actually shoveling cardboard out there to people. You know, and if you ask me, is this where the Blue Sky Rangers are going to end up? I would have said no. I would have said no, you know, they're not going to get involved with the company. They're not going to do something like that. I mean, Christ, I mean, you think that at least they would have done some home brews, you know, and just said, okay, you know, you're not going to get this, but you're going to get this. And play this on the original one. You know, we got some guys to work on them. Something, you know, I mean, but not even that. Not even that. You know, I mean, do you want to buy them as a prank? You know, what are you going to do with these? And why would you put your name, your company, your anybody associated with this thing, with this kind of company that failed so miserably, not only at the games, right, but also financially, all the financial burden that this company carries with you know, all these investors that are burnt. I mean, do you want to take on that bad will over what? Maybe at best you're going to sell 1,000 games. You know, you're going to burn your brand for $25,000. Your brand isn't worth much then. You know, I think that at least the Blue Sky Rangers brand could have been saved, done something with it, kept on producing homebrews, but I mean, how can you trust somebody that sells you cardboard? You know, I mean, what made you think that this was a good decision? At what point? Who are you helping out? You know, that where's the bankruptcies at, man? I mean, that makes more financial sense to me, right, than doing this. Write it off. Write it off for, you know, whatever successful venture you have. Just say, you know what, this is done. Take it off my taxes, and you're done. You know, yeah, you're going to take, you know, if it's the gentleman that owned the Blue Sky Rangers, he's probably going to take a $200,000 hit, personally. I don't know how much he got repaid back. Probably not much. But why ruin your brand, something that you can make money with in the future by putting these on your store, on your eBay store, and then having people talking about it, when most of the things I've ever said about you are positive, and now you're selling, you know, things that you know have no value, don't have the value that you're selling them for. These are not games. These are cardboard. That's what you're selling, cardboard and plastic. And that's not what the Blue Rangers stood for, at least in the past. But now the Blue Sky Rangers are just another arm of the Intellivision Amico, another part of failure. At least that's my opinion from the Philippines. What do you guys think? Let me know. Take care.